Hi. So, I know that this is my second video lecture, but you don't, because my phone turned off while I was filming the first one, and I'm not doing that whole 42-minute lecture again. Anyway, you're gonna deal with it, because I'm gonna be talking about eukaryotes, and hopefully this will kind of help. Okay, so this is the second PowerPoint in the exam 2 material exam 1 material for semester 2 of bio. So I'm gonna go through some of the learning objectives. There are 5 this time for this particular PowerPoint. And so the learning objectives for origins of eukaryotes is you should be able to, number 1, name the four major groups of organisms as defined in our class that comprise the eukaryotes and recognize examples of organisms that belong to these groups. Name the 4 major groups of organisms that comprise the eukaryotes and recognize examples of organisms that belong to these groups. Okay. All right. Well, I'm only saying 3, which is weird. Okay, cool. All right. Domain eukarya. Eukaryotes are a sister clade to the archaea and are actually very structurally diverse. Okay, cool. So members of domain. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong tree. So when we look at our like domains of life, we have these things called bacteria. We have these things called eukarya. And we have these things called archaea. And your phylogenetic tree for this is going to look a little something like that. And so eukarya are the sister clade of archaea because they're more directly related. So the archaea, that's just like basically what I was saying like a few seconds ago. And apparently in the domain archaea, or not archaea, I mean eukarya, we have things called plants and animals and fungi and protists. And protists is just a collective term for everything that's not plants and animals and fungi. So that makes it a lot easier on us because there's a ton of protists. So we'll use the protists to describe any eukaryote that does not fall under plants, animals, and fungi. But please remember that protists are like everywhere within the tree. So it's not just like one little thing that you can like boop cut off and these are the protists and then everything else is everything else. Like protists are like scattered among like here. So I'll like draw it. So you have like this thing here, and I'm seeing like a whole like some protists here, right? And I'm seeing some plants here. But I'm also seeing that when we divide this, so here are, oh, Lamau, never mind, no wait, the frick, okay, interesting. Okay, so there's like a third thing here, and there's like more protists here. But you don't really need to know that. I'll just kind of like not put that up there because I feel like it'll be really weird to look at. Okay. There's like, I don't know why there's like 3 branches. I think he mentioned that in class, like your professor mentioned that in class, but like we're not supposed to have 3 branches. It's just like biology is like, oh, there's ambiguity there. But don't do that on the test. So here is fungi. And coenoflagellates, and then animals. Okay, so protists are everything that's not plants, fungi, or animals. And so technically protoflagellates should go under protists, but like, I guess we're looking at coronaflagellates too. So if we include the most recent common ancestor of all eukaryotes, the protists are best described as a, I would say, paraphyletic group. Okay, key events in the origin of eukaryotic cells. So this is where the term eukaryotes is a very, like, in order to look at an organism and say, hey, that's a eukaryote, you have to look at whether or not there's compartmentalization. Remember how prokaryotes did not compartmentalization, did not have organelles or nuclei. Well, eukaryotes do because they have compartmentalization. They have compartments and the origin of a flexible cell surface, and so they have like a membrane thing that's like not rigid, but it's more like fluid, and so you have a flexible, that's terrible. Oh my god, if only I could just sit down and work on my handwriting for a bit. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Flexible, flex, time to impress. Okay, flexible cell surface. Then, excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay, so if we have also a complex cytoskeleton, and so you know how like in your prokaryotes, it's a relatively simpler organism. Like that doesn't mean that it's any less evolved, because obviously we're all here in the present day, and therefore we should have like all evolved pretty much the same amount, right? Like it doesn't mean that they're like not evolved, but they're just simpler. They don't need a really complex cytoskeleton, because like if we have like a eukaryote here, it's gonna have a bunch of like little compartment stuff, and in order for these things to like fluidly like pass things around, like you need like a very robust system of like transporting things. And then also if you have a flexible cell surface, you need to be able to use that flexibility, and so the complex cytoskeleton can kind of like help the organism kind of like flow along, kind of like a pseudo foot type thing. And then you also have a nuclear envelope, which I pretty much discussed. Appearance of digestive vacuoles. So apparently, so like lysosomes? Interesting. Okay, acquisition of certain organelles by endosymbiosis. So there's this thing called endosymbiosis, and through that we get some organelles in eukaryotes. Okay, compartmentalization provides many advantages, because if you have compartments, you can isolate different chemical reactions and like different enzymes without having it like interfere with other stuff. So you can specialize certain regions of the cell for specific things. And then loss of a rigid cell wall allowed for a more flexible cell surface, and so the plasma membrane can actually fold in to facilitate things like endocytosis, which I think means like eating things. Hold on. No, I don't think, wait, hold on. And formation of organelles. Let me just find out real fast what endocytosis is. Endocytosis. So, the taking in of matter by a living cell by invagination of its membrane to form a vacuole. So, like, it forms like a little, if this is like the eukaryote, then goes whoop, and then it like engulfs the thing and like makes it a little compartment. A little bit heavy. All right. Allows for increased surface area and cell size, so you can do a lot of things with that, apparently. So the complex cytoskeleton, I mean, like there are cytoskeletons in prokaryotes, but it's not complex because they don't need it, because they don't really have organelles. Anyway, so The complex cytoskeleton is important for intercellular transport of vesicles and organelles, so just like transporting those organelles, I guess. And then the alignment of chromosomes, because you have like nuclear DNA, you need to be able to like take it and like actually do things. Okay, cell shape changes, etc. Endosymbiotic theory, cells living within cells. I understand this part, and so I will not go over this. Some vocabulary used to describe protists and non-protists. Plankton, free-floating aquatic organisms. Okay, wait. Let's go back to the learning objectives. Okay. So recognize the key events that led to the evolution of eukaryotes from a prokaryotic ancestor. Describe how these events allowed for establishment of unique cellular features and functions. Explain how Okay, so the last learning objective in this particular PowerPoint says, recognize unique traits of diatoms and dinoflagellates, including their importance for Earth's ecosystems. And I'm pretty sure that the diatoms is just like the photosynthetic thingamabobbers, other than dinoflagellates that photosynthesize. Okay. We gonna take a closer look at protists. So protists, they show enormous diversity. Most are unicellular and microscopic, but few are multicellular, and some are actually quite large. We will look at a few examples. So for protists, we use the word plankton, which is some sort of free-floating aquatic organism. Phytoplankton, which is like free-floating aquatic organisms that do photosynthesis. Autotrophs, which automatically get their food from carbon atoms entirely from inorganic sources, so like CO2. They can just like pluck that out of the air and make something with the carbon in it. And then heterotrophs actually they can't pluck things out of the air. Like you and I are heterotrophs because we actually have to consume other beings' carbon atoms to rearrange them and make things of our own. So two interesting protistic examples. So diatoms and dinoflagellates. So I'm just going to make a little... Okay. So we have diatoms and dinoflagellates. And diatoms, I told you, major photosynthetic producers in coastal waters and in fresh waters. They perform a fifth of all photosynthetic carbon fixation on Earth, roughly the same as all of the Earth's rainforests combined. Goddamn. Okay, cool. Unique trait: most deposit silicon in their cell walls, which give them characteristically unique and intricate appearance. Okay, so when you think diatoms, think you would die without the atoms that they introduced into the world, which is oxygen, right? And so they photosynthesize, therefore they are phytoplankton, right? Photosynthesize. And also they have silicon in their cell walls. Yes. And humans rely on the remains of diatoms because diatoms, when they die, they sink to the bottom of the ocean, and then they keep sinking and sinking and sinking, and then they decompose and become fossil fuels. Dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates are unicellular, mostly marine. They are major Oh, okay, cool. They're also photosynthesizers. They are important primary producers, providing food for many species, much of the atmospheric oxygen, most major part of Earth's phytoplankton. And so the unique trait that they have is they have two flagella. That kind of look gross. Okay. So they're also photosynthetic. But they have two flagella. Like, I mean, it says flagellates. Cool. So, like, atom could be like, you think of silicon as an atom of silicon, and then flagellates, two flagella. Makes sense. So, dinoflagellates cause red tides. So, these are the things that cause red tides. I saw that term on the practice exam and I was like, what? So I might be you might be able to benefit from knowing that. I think that's pretty much it for the second slideshow. I will look at fungi in the next one. I'll see you later.